Presented by Fields Auto Group.
All right, Cubs will try and split a brief two-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays and see if they can find a way to start to turn the ship north with the All-Star break right around the corner. Hello, welcome in to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group with David DeJesus. I'm David Kaplan. All right, last year we would see all these dramatic come-from-behind wins. Yesterday they came close. Couldn't quite push across the tying run, lose 6-5. But I think I speak for a lot of Cub fans who are saying, okay, first half is just about over. When does this thing start to kick into gear?
You're exactly right. We're all looking at the same thing. It's the same game happening each and every day. They get down early, they work their way back, they come close, and they make it an exciting game at the end, but they lose. So it's how are they going to get key hitting? It's clutch hitting, 4 for 13 yesterday with runners in scoring position.
Big hits in big spots.
That's what it comes down to.
All right, almost time for you to get interactive with our show. Get your mobile, laptop, or tablet ready. Head to csnchicago.com/vote. Just a few minutes, we'll bring you our live fan vote. Now we go to beautiful Wrigley Field. Kelly Crow with our Miller Lite game report. Casey?
Thanks a lot, Cap. Well, guys, the Rays sending lefty Blake Snell to the bump this afternoon, so you're going to see a lot of righties in the lineup for the Northsiders, and you're going to get to see Wilson Contreras leading off once again for the second time in about a week span. Don't forget his first at-bat the last time leading off a home run. He gave us a Rizzo, didn't he? Going to see if he can provide that kind of spark once again this afternoon. But the Cubs have used 8 different guys this season in that leadoff spot. That's one of the most for teams across the league, and really it's been a rotating spot ever since we saw Kyle Schwarber begin the year in this in that top spot. And you know, interestingly enough, for Schwarber, looking pretty good in Iowa. 10 for 30, 4 home runs, 6 walks in 9 games. Madden went on to say, don't expect it, but don't be surprised if you see him before the All-Star break. And even more interestingly enough, he said, don't be surprised if you see him in that leadoff spot once again. And here's why.
I find no connection between his struggle and where he was hitting in the batting order. It was just that he was struggling. Just missing his pitch, like I said, fouling it off. That had nothing to do with placement in the batting order because he was not trying to be any kind of a different hitter. He was not trying to accept more walks. He was not trying to do anything differently. It just was a matter that he was just not hitting. And so that has, I mean, in my mind, I had nothing to do with it. So I would not be concerned with putting him back there, just depending on what he looks like when he gets back. Right now, not having a specific leadoff guy, I'm still always concerned about Rizzo. And that's why I like leaving Zobrist back there. Even though it's a lefty, he has to hit right-handed. The game changes, obviously, and then all of a sudden you got a righty out there, and I want him behind. So that's it. And Wilson, this is something I've been toying with all summer, wanting to do this, is against the lefty, throw Wilson up there. That was... even back to spring training, that was a thought. So it looked nice in Cincinnati. But beyond that, Happ doing what he's doing. Again, also, I'm anticipating left-handed at-bats at some point also with him. And then the bottom, I mean, I don't like stacking righties that much, but their bullpen, their righties, some of them are reversed. Some of them pitch in a manner that's still conducive for our righties to hit them, the method with which they pitch.
All right, so there's the thought process behind the lineup today from Madden, and of course that leadoff spot continues to work different guys into it. One other note to pass along, guys, Kyle Hendricks threw a side session yesterday. Today played catch, kind of gave the media a thumbs up, said he felt good, would like to throw another, or plans to throw another side on either Friday or Saturday. And then you can imagine the Cubs would love to see him get a start maybe during the All-Star break if the schedules line up so that he can be ready to go and added to that rotation post Midsummer Classic. We're already talking about that. And guys, it feels like summer finally out here at Wrigley. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Cal, thanks a lot. Have a good broadcast throughout the game today. All right, time for today's Miller Lite Cubs fan poll. The vote, visit csnchicago.com/vote. You don't need a special app. Just visit that website, get interactive with David and with me. Today's question is, your biggest area of concern for this Cubs team right now? Health, starting rotation, consistent hitting. What concerns me? Starting pitching. I want another starter here. you got to have another horse that doesn't have pitching deep into the postseason, into November, like last year. I just don't know who you're giving up to get that guy and who that guy is.
Yeah, right now, Kyle Hendricks, it's good to hear that he's on the mend. He's coming around probably after the All-Star break, but another key guy. You need 3 horses at least going into the playoffs. Arrieta's been up and down. His last start, he looked really good, but he's not you're not confident with him yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. So hopefully he
and
gains
John
steam.
Lester wasn't good yesterday.
Exactly.
Lackey hasn't been good. We'll
So
see
up
what
and
he
down.
does today. Our starting lineups are presented by the Illinois Office of Tourism. Illinois, are you up for amazing? Joe Madden's lineup looks like this today. All right, there it is. Wilson Contreras at the top. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Ben Zobrist is in right, Ian Happen left, Albert Almora Jr. in center, Javi Baez at second, Addison Russell at short, and the right-handed pitcher John Lackey gets the start. Contreras, you see his numbers there, hitting .259 with 10 bombs at 40 knocked in. That's his first leadoff opportunity. We saw him go deep, and what can he do today?
He's been looking good. He's using the whole field. He's keeping that ball on a line. That's when you know you're feeling good at the plate. You're able to square balls up. He's keeping it on the line. Balls are leaving the park, and he's working good at bats. So as the season's gone on, his at bats have gotten better, and he's gaining his confidence at the plate.
All right, so you were a leadoff guy for 13 years. You hit mostly in the leadoff spot. There are people that believe, and you heard Joe Madden just say, I don't believe his struggles, Schwarber, had anything to do with where he was hitting. He was just struggling. Do you believe that putting a guy in the 7-hole to quote-unquote relax him makes it easier, or if you're struggling, you're struggling?
You're struggling, you're struggling. I've been in both situations, in both spots, and an 0 for 4 is an 0 for 4 no matter what. And the thing with Kyle, he was missing his pitches. You see how he was underneath the ball, fouling balls off, and hooking balls foul. So hopefully he's gone down there and has worked to stay on top of the ball, line drives, and keep that swing path and be able to each and every day learn something about his swing.
And put the ball in play.
That's it. That's what it comes down to, because big league pitchers are going to, whatever they see something, a little hole there, they're all going to attack it until you do something to change that.
So you don't believe hitting at the top had anything to do with the struggles. He just struggled.
His just confidence was gone. So
well said. Here's a look at the Rays from top to bottom. Take a look at their lineup today. Malik Smith leads off. He's in center. Corey Dickerson's in left. Their stud, Evan Longoria, is at third. Logan Morrison, with 24 bombs this year, is at first. Steven Souza Jr. is in right. Tim Beckham, who had a 2-run bomb yesterday, is at second. Adani Hechavarria, who just came over from the Marlins, is at short. Jesus Sucre is catching, and Blake Snell is your pitcher, a lefty, so the Cubs will stack their lineup with righties. All right, time for our bona fide starting pitchers, Blake Snell and John Lackey. For our guy, it's just about avoiding the big inning. What are we looking for John Lackey?
You know he's going to get ahead, and it's pretty much getting through that first inning. That first inning, teams are hitting right around 320 off of him, and the Rays, these guys are hitting homers this year. So that first inning is going to be key, and just pitching down in the zone. As you see these highlights, look where these balls are, where these guys are
all
hitting. Up in the zone. That's where the hitters like to hit these balls, and they're driving it out of the zone. So don't get it off that barrel. Get it off the top of the top of the bat, and just work around the zone. Don't hit that middle.
Yeah, you look at some of these pitches, and he's not the old John Lackey that blows you away at 96. No. He's the John Lackey at 38 who sits at 92. It says, hit me, hit me.
That's the game.
Got to find a way to pitch better. All right, let's talk about Blake Snell. Cubs have stacked their lineup with a number of right-hand hitters. This guy, he's not going to blow you away, but he's a really crafty guy.
Yeah, I was talking to Archer the other day, and he was saying this guy has 4+ pitches. But his confidence, where he lacks right now is his confidence. He's got hit and round his first time in the major leagues, got sent down, dominates down there, gets called back up, first inning, 4 runs against the Pirates. So it's that shaky confidence of kind of trusting yourself and believing that you're an MLB pitcher.
But if you wake up against him and it's the third inning and now you haven't scored, he starts to think, I got these guys. You look and it's the fifth, the sixth. Now you're in some trouble. You got to jump on him early. All right, time for our first time out here on Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. It's Wade Davis going to be the Cubs' only representative at the All-Star Game. What about KB, Chris Bryant? David and I discussed, and we'll tell you how to vote for KB in the final fan vote. And it is 39 minutes and 40 seconds till start of the game. Still time for you to give a call to Feldco, 866-4FELDCO. We'll be right back.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, inviting you to become a member of the Fields family when you buy or lease from any of our 31 locations. You also get our Fields amenities that include free loaners, car washes, and our gourmet coffee bars and cafes. And with more than 35,000 vehicles sold annually, you can get a great offer like this.
And now you can lease a new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month for 36 months at Fields Volvo Northfield on Frontage Road.
And Fields matters because you matter.
See Fields first at VolvoNorthfield.com.
From ballparks to amusement parks and hot dogs to haute cuisine, visit EnjoyIllinois.com for trip ideas. Brought to you by the Illinois Office of Tourism, proud partner of the world champion Chicago Cubs. Illinois, are you up for amazing?
Empathy.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Traffic was crazy.
What route did you take?
I took the freeway. Oh, no.
I'm so sorry. Traffic is tough.
Hey, sorry, guys. I just heard. Are you okay? Bryce. We're here for you.
Get internet starting at $29.99 a month. And call now to find out how you can add TV for as little as $10 more a month. Wow, that's better.
$1 window siding and door installation, 102 Pine Street.
Let's go, guys.
It's Feldco to the rescue with $1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors. Plus, no interest for 1 year. It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year.
That's $1.
$1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors.
Hurry, $1 installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
I like it sweet.
I like it hot.
Red gravy.
Baptize it.
Make it cheesy.
Make it hurt.
North side.
South side.
There's one thing
both sides agree on.
Bona beef.
Bona, a Chicago original. The official Italian beef on both sides of town.
Hey, buddy. Looking good. You know what we gotta do, right? Let's go. Come on.
Not.
You're a good driver.
But that's not.
Get in the car.
No.
I don't think I should do this.
Just get in the car!
No.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, thousands of barrels lay silent. But that doesn't mean they lay idle. In fact, inside each and every Jim Beam barrel, the bourbon is aging, building a fuller, smoother flavor that only comes from being aged 4 long years. At Jim Beam, our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Welcome back to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group.
Time for the API Physical Therapy Injury Report. And it's been a big one for the Cubs. Kyle Hendricks has now been out for a little over a month, still battling right hand tendonitis. Brett Anderson on the 60-day DL with a low back strain through that sim game several weeks ago. Welcome back. This is Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. All right, it's hashtag KB. We got to get Chris Bryant to the All-Star game. Head to Cubs.com/vote or text N2 to 89269. Justin Turner of the Dodgers currently leads in the vote. What does Chris have to do to leapfrog him? Because Turner's having a really good year. You got to be fair, but so is Chris.
Yeah, Chris is going to have to have a big few games here. The thing with Chris right now is he's not catching up to the fastball. And once you can't catch up to the fastball, that's when you have to start early, and that's when you're swinging at sliders and stuff into dirt. So right now, it's him getting back to getting on top of that fastball and driving it like he used to do.
Why do you think he is struggling with the fastball? Because this is a guy who took Chris Sale at 99 miles an hour out in the All-Star game. I mean, he was a real good fastball hitter.
You know, it's one of those things that, as a hitter, if your team is going, you're going as well. And this whole team, through the whole order, has not got going yet. So you feed off each other, but this is the guy that has to start the whole process of it. Him and Rizzo are two big bats in the lineup. So it's just getting back to understanding you are Chris Bryant. These pitchers are scared of you when you step in the plate. So trusting in that and going out there and doing it.
Yeah, you watch a play like that. I mean, that's a big-time arm.
I mean, this guy can play.
This guy can flat out play.
Yeah.
Does the fielding impact a vote like this? Or do fans go, nah, not really?
No, it's a hitting game. You know, it's about homers and about driving runs in. And Turner, man, it's hard. Those numbers that he's putting up there, it's hard to say no to him. But Chris is the type of guy that can do that. He has that star power.
So it's like making sure your highlights end up on In the Loop.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Not to take anything away from Wade Davis, but you look at how good he's been, and you look at how good, you know, Chris is defending MVP, but Wade Davis has been all-star worthy all year long.
Oh, this guy's been dominant out of the pen. When he comes into the game, you know the game's pretty much shut down. It's over. And when teams, you know, as a team coming in facing Wade Davis, you're right. All right, what am I going to sit on? Am I going to sit on the cutter? Am I going to sit on the fastball that's 96 plus or the big curveball? He has so many different pitches. That's why he's such a tough guy to, you know, crack late in the game.
Yeah, I read a really good article in the Tribune over the weekend where Wade wore 17, and his stepbrother had passed away. He wore it as a, you know, tribute to him, but he comes here. Chris Bryant said, I didn't know the story of why he wore it. He never even asked me for the number. Chris almost indicated, here's an MVP. That if he had asked, he'd have given it to him. Wade said, no, it's all right, I'll go with 71. But where's the 17 on his shoes? Pretty cool
That's
story.
pretty cool.
All right, balloting ends at 3 tomorrow, so get out and vote, please. Time for another break here. We'll be right back.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
For more taste, less calories, and half the carbs, there's only one light beer to grab. Miller Lite. Hold true.
I don't own the apartment building, but the right out front is mine. And everything inside, like my office, and my library, my studio. I worked hard to get all of it. And I just
want to be sure it's all protected with auto and renter's insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here.
Here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
All across America, more people are choosing Nissan. It's America's best sales event at Nissan, the fastest growing auto brand in the USA. Take on every day and get a low $199 per month lease on Rogue, or save up to $10,260 on select models. Get to your local Nissan dealer today.
The Castle's boldest hit yet is the new Hot Chicken Slider with boldly spicy Nashville-inspired hot sauce and topped with crispy fried pickles. It's the hottest little ditty this side of Music City. And where there's fire, there's smoke. Like the new bacon and smoked cheddar chicken slider. Wait, this just in. For 99 cents, get a Craver fave, crispy chicken or grilled chicken slider. What? White Castle. Now that's a bold move.
Sports Talk Live, presented by Chevy Silverado. Weeknights at 6 on CSN.
How do you want to live? As a decent person? Good husband? Is that it? Good? Of course not. King of the hill? Better. Top of your game? Win. All powerful. Like a boss. Like a pro. We couldn't agree more. We are professional grade. Step up to GMC with 17% below MSRP on specially equipped 2017 Sierra SLT models. That's nearly $11,000 on this Sierra.
This message is for all Americans that owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS.
Call the number on your screen now and we will contact the IRS on your behalf, help you end wage garnishments, stop collection calls, remove tax liens, get rid of IRS and state tax penalties, and reduce the amount you owe if you qualify.
Let us take the stress of back taxes and the IRS off your shoulders so you can spend time on the important things in your life, like your family or your business. If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, call now and find out how we can help you.
Subscribe to the Cubs Talk podcast on iTunes or the Google Play Store today.
Welcome back to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by Fields Auto Group.
All right, dare to live in full color with Blue Man Group. Spectacular collision of comedy, theater, rock concert, and dance party, all rolled into one. Catch our boys in blue at the Briar Street Theater. Call 800-BLUE-MAN or visit blueman.com. All right, welcome back. Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group, rolls on. Let's talk about Ian Happ. Take a look at his numbers. For Cubs rookies all time, most homers before the All-Star break. Soto had 16. Happ would have to get smoking hot this week to catch him. But still, there he sits at number 2, and he gets 1. He puts Chris Bryant, Mike Holt, Tyler Colvin, and Billy Cowan way back in '64 down to number 3 on the list. A few weeks ago, I said to you, I think this guy's got to go back down. He was down to 209 in a batting average, and he looked overmatched. And he made an adjustment. And boy, oh boys, he looked good.
I mean, this kid is learning from each and every in-bat. He lives right around Ben Zobrist, Jason Hayward. He wants to get as much information from these veteran guys that have played games, and he's implementing it really well.
So he runs well. Yesterday, he walked in the 9th as the Cubs tried to come back. The walk that he took in the 9th inning on a 3-2 pitch, that was for me as impressive as anything, because the pitch wasn't in the dirt. It was a ball, but you know how many rookies are just, they're so anxious they swing.
Yeah. And he's swung at that most of his time up here.
Yes, made an adjustment.
Made an adjustment, and it's pitch to pitch. That's the thing with him. He's done it pitch to pitch. It's not taking him 2 or 3 games to do it. It's pitch to pitch. It's understanding that what he can do with the ball. And this guy is special pop. You don't see that special a pop from a guy coming up, and it's great to see that this guy changing the path of his career right now.
No question about it. All right, on to Kyle Schwarber, hitting over 300 down in Iowa with 4 home runs. Is it time to bring him back up? And why wouldn't you if you were the Cubs?
Right now, let him gain confidence. This hitting thing is all about confidence right now, and let him get 4 or 5 more good games down there. Maybe get through All-Star break. You're just get free 3 or 4 more games there, and then once the second half comes up, he's ready, he's confident, and he's ready to roll.
So if you're a betting man, he's hitting .333, 4 bombs, 9 knocked in. But he also has, I believe, 9 strikeouts.
Yeah.
If you're a betting man, is he on the Major League roster the day play resumes in the second half?
Yes, I'll go for that. I want to see him back. He's a big part of the Cubs system, and if he goes, and maybe he might be back in the leadoff spot. So it would be great, a little addition of the team.
All right, so if I said to you, Kyle Hendricks comes back, and he'll have to get into game shape, but he comes back, he's added to your rotation. Kyle Schwarber comes back, and he's plug and play in left field. Is that enough, or do you go, I still think they need an addition somewhere?
For pitching-wise? I want one pitcher.
Yeah, a starter.
I want a starter, and from that, I can go with that.
Justin Verlander's name is out there. You're talking $13 million the rest of this year, $27 next year, $27 the year after. He's 34 with a lot of mileage in that arm, coming off 2 bad starts, but some believe a change to Chicago might energize him.
The name sounds great right now, but I just don't know. That's a lot of money you're guaranteed to, 2,000 plus, 3,000 innings arm?
Yeah.
So I'm just keep going out there, seeing what else is out there. You know,
keep shopping.
Yeah, just take your time.
Completely agree. Take a look at the fan poll right there. Biggest area of concern for this Cubs team, you see the numbers sitting right there, starting rotation. and consistent hitting. And those would be the two things.
Those are two good. That's perfect right there.
I'm still saying RELAX. Anyway, David's keys to the game, our key performers coming up after our final timeout, and then we'll hand it off to Len and JD at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, inviting you to become a member of the Fields family when you buy or lease from any of our 31 locations. You also get our Fields amenities that include free loaners, car washes, and our gourmet coffee bars and cafes. And with more than 35,000 vehicles sold annually, you can get a great offer like this.
And now you can lease a new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month for 36 months at Fields Volvo Northfield on Frontage Road.
And Fields matters because you matter.
See Fields first at VolvoNorthfield.com.
The McDonald's Hot and Spicy McChicken Sandwich is seasoned with the perfect amount of spices, so it's the best way to spice things up, which is good because now you don't have to do things like this anymore.
Why are we doing this again?
You said you wanted to spice things up!
I meant get a hot and spicy McChicken sandwich!
So now it's my fault?
The Hot and Spicy McChicken Sandwich is back at McDonald's, and right now it's on the McPick 2 menu. Come in today and choose 2 of your McPick 2 faves for just $3.
It's a good thing we brought the tablets, huh?
Yeah, and I can watch the game with DirecTV now.
Ooh, sorry. Most broadcasts and sports channels aren't included. And you can only stream on 2 devices at once.
This is fun. We're having fun.
Yeah.
No, you're not, Jimmy.
Don't let DirecTV Now limit your entertainment. Xfinity gives you more to stream to more screens.
Your official Rolex jeweler is James & Sons in Chicago, Orland Park, and Cherville.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, every barrel's aged 4 long years for a fuller, smoother flavor. Our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
I like it sweet.
I like it hot.
Red gravy.
Baptize it.
Make it cheesy.
Make it hurt.
North side.
South side.
There's one thing
Both sides agree on.
Bona beef.
Bona, a Chicago original. The official Italian beef on both sides of town.
How do you want to live? As a decent person? Good husband? Is that it? Good? Of course not. King of the Hill? Better. Top of your game? Win. All powerful. Like a boss. Like a pro. We couldn't agree more. We are professional grade. Step up to GMC with 17% below MSRP on specially equipped 2017 Sierra SLT models. That's nearly $11,000 on this Sierra.
All right, beautiful day at Wrigley. Everybody having a cold one and getting ready. The Cubs and the Rays to complete a brief 2-game interleague set. Time for our Fields Auto Group keys to the game. All right, rude awakening.
All right, this guy right now, Blake Snell, is 0-4 in his last 4 starts. He's looking for his first win, so the Cubs hitters want to get on him early and get that, shake up that confidence. And once his confidence is shooken up, he'll miss over the plate, and that's when you take advantage of him.
Yeah, you cannot let this guy go 5 innings of shutout baseball where he's pitching with a lot of belief. I can do this.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Keep him down early.
All right, number 2, keep it in the park. We saw Tim Beckham with a turnaround home run yesterday. Gave them a 3-1 lead.
Yeah. These guys can hit homers. They're third in the major leagues in homers. So they're left-handed hitters. Logan Morrison, Corey Dickerson, they like hitting against right-handed pitchers. And Lackey has been...
We got a guy pitching who's been prone to the home run ball.
So we'll see.
All right, time for results to today's Miller Lite Cubs fan poll. Your biggest area of concern for the 2017 Chicago Cubs. Starting rotation wins it, 46%. I think we're in agreement. Add one really, really good arm, I'm not saying it's got to be Clayton Kershaw, but somebody pretty solid that can pitch.
Yeah.
And our key performers for today, I'm 10-9 in the hole. Made a big comeback. I'm going Anthony Rizzo, lefty on lefty.
Contreras, he's going to start off hot and get those 5 at-bats, and it's time to start for me to start pulling away from you.
All right. We will be back with the post-game show. Thank you for watching Cubs Pregame Live, presented by our great friends at the Fields Auto Group. We send it off to the great play-by-play team, Len Casper, Jim DeShane.
All right, Cap, David, thank you very much. Another gorgeous day here at the ballpark. Looks like the wind not blowing very hard, coming in off the lake, could help a right-handed batter to the pull side.
Yeah, maybe playing a little bit neutral here today. And as you guys mentioned, the challenge, of course, for John Lackey, keep the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed home runs in 9 consecutive starts. He's allowed home runs in all but 2 of his starts so far this year.
Let's get to the highlights from the first game of this series and homestand, and a lot of pomp and circumstance on the 4th of July. Great to have all the branches of the military represented. Cubs had the lead early. Ian Happ just missed a home run. Ball in and out of the glove of the right fielder Souza, as it was a triple for Happ. And then Jason Hayward, first game off the disabled list against a drawn-in infield. Ground ball base hit, 1-0 Cubs. But then the 4th inning, it was a weird inning for John Lester.
Yeah, Lester really labored. He gave up the home run to Beckham. He gave up a number of ground ball hits, or a couple balls hit through the middle of the diamond that maybe had a chance to make a play on. Wasn't able to knock down. The Rays took full advantage.
So 6-1, they have the lead. Cubs on the comeback trail. Chris Bryant with an infield single. John Jay is in at 6-2. Ben Zobrist deposits one down the line. Bryant is in. It's now 6-3. And they had their chances against Chris Archer, but an escape job in the 6th.
Yeah, tough-minded kid. He's got plus stuff, a big fastball, one of the best sliders we've seen all year. But they had first and second, nobody out. And then he punched out 3 consecutive hitters to finish the inning.
9th inning now, as the Cubs made Alex Colomé work very hard. Anthony Rizzo plating Albert Almora Jr. It's a 2-run ball game. Cubs made it 6-5 on a fielder's choice by Ben Zobrist, but then Hayward flies to left. Colomé, you'd have to think he's unavailable today, right?
Yeah, if you're looking for a little silver lining in the loss yesterday with all the work he did in that game, their closer probably not available, and Brad Boxberger out of their bullpen coming off an injury pitch yesterday, so he might not be available today as well. So this might be a club you can beat late this afternoon.
Let's get a look at the starting pitchers today, and it's left-hander Blake Snell. It's been a rough ride for the youngster. John Lackey, boy, contrasting styles today.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Snell, a young kid with a big arm. He just lacks fastball command. He has really struggled, but you know, when he's on his game, he can be awfully tough. He has a lot of upside. John Lackey actually had been going along nicely at the 2 previous starts. To his last one, he was pitching low hit, low run baseball, but he gave it up against the Nationals. Gave up 3 home runs, 8 runs in his outing in Washington.
So Snell for the Rays, Lackey for the Cubs, and we'll get a Cubs news update from our Cubs insider, Patrick Mooney, next.
Chicago's favorite spot for prime steaks, the freshest seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab. Come on down to Joe's.
Hey, buddy. Looking good. You know what we gotta do, right? Let's go. Come on. Not. You're a good driver. But that's not. Get in the car. No. I don't think I should do this. Just get in the car! No.
You don't have to sacrifice taste to stay in the game. Miller Lite, always brewed to have more taste and be less filling. Miller Lite, hold true.
In our pizza family, you get bigger, better ingredients
for less dough.
Get Papa John's Double XL Pizza, loaded with oversized and traditional Italian sausage and huge deli-style pepperoni. Only $12.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
All across America, more people are choosing Nissan. It's America's best sales event at Nissan, the fastest growing auto brand in the USA. Take on every day and get a low $199 per month lease on Rogue, or save up to $10,260 on select models. Get to your local Nissan dealer today.
How do you want to live? As a decent person? Good husband? Is that it? Good? Of course not. King of the Hill? Better. Top of your game? Win. All powerful. Like a boss. Like a pro. We couldn't agree more. We are professional grade.
Step up to GMC with 17% below MSRP on specially equipped 2017 Sierra SLT models. That's nearly $11,000 on this Sierra.
If you've ever considered getting a walk-in tub, we have great news.
For a limited time, when you purchase a Safe Step walk-in tub, we'll include our newest feature, a heated seat.
That's a $600 value. Free.
The new dual hydrotherapy system has foot massaging jets
and a microbubble jet that produces bubbles so small they can penetrate pores. Safe Step walk-in tubs are built to maximize safety so you can stay in your home.
Call the number on your screen now for more information.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Rays and Cubs wrapping up a two-gamer, and you can and should follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, on CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich, serving the community for 38 years. Go to jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. So the news around the Cubs right now, we are into early July. Trade deadline coming up, I think, a lot sooner than people actually think here, Patrick. What are you hearing?
I think Theo and Jed are kind of in observation mode. I think you hear there's a lot of different ideas kind of running through that front office. They know that they could have to replace 40% of that rotation this winter with Jake Arrieta and John Lackey positioned to become free agents. So they know going into this winter, needing to sign 2 frontline starters is a really bad idea, that other teams and agents will sense that desperation, knowing how stacked the Cubs are on the hitting side. But as the deeper we get into this and keep asking guys like Jason Hayward and John Lester, who've been around, of kind of what's going on here, they don't have a ton of answers, and that I do think it will impact how aggressive this front office will be. Just so you look at 2015, where it didn't really make sense to go all in for a coin flip wildcard game, and last year getting Aroldis Chapman and giving up a top prospect and Torres really made a lot of sense. Right now, we're not really sure where the Cubs are at exactly, which makes this push before the All-Star break key in how they come out of it on the other end.
Yeah, and 2 things to add to that. Aroldis Chapman was not acquired to win the division. He was acquired to win the World Series, which they did. If you make an acquisition now, it's really to get there. And on top of that, the team we're going to see tomorrow, the Milwaukee Brewers, what they do or don't do could affect this division.
Yeah, and it's not like they're going to raise a white flag or think that they're out of it. I still think this team has the most talent on paper and is probably most likely to find that extra gear. But the fact that it hasn't happened yet, you really do wonder, do you give up an Eloy Jimenez? And the way Ian Happ is playing, he's now on a part of this Major League roster, and they've been really reluctant to take a piece out of that, knowing that'll just create another hole on a different part of the roster. So bottom line is that these deals usually don't happen until the end anyways. They still got a lot of time to figure out where they're at exactly, but I do think it's all about pitching. I think they've kind of played their way out of rentals. That doesn't really make much sense, but we're also assuming Kyle Hendricks is going to come back strong after the All-Star break, and we'll see kind of what they can get in terms of Mike Montgomery. I think he's starting to establish himself as a guy that they can count on in the rotation. I think that's more the tier of pitchers that they're looking at, not the big-name guy, not a Justin Verlander, more of someone they could kind of coach up and mold into a first division starter.
And you're looking at Kyle Hendricks, as you said, maybe in the rotation coming out of the break in Baltimore. Kyle Schwarber could be back around that time, possibly this weekend against the Pirates, but I know the Cubs like what he's done so far at Iowa.
Yeah, and you're starting to see with Zobrist and Hayward back in the lineup. Yesterday, Madden counted, I think, 189 pitches that this lineup saw. And, you know, Schwarber is someone, we saw it in 2015, what he can do. Madden has not backed off the idea of putting him back in at the leadoff spot eventually, depending on circumstances. So, you know, Lackey said it the other day in D.C. that kind of winning cures everything in terms of clubhouse vibe and culture, and that they've had a lot of guys watching games who should really be in the lineup every day.
Last quick question, in your observations, and we've seen all the other 4 teams in this division, are the Brewers going to be the biggest threat to the Cubs since they are in first, or do you think the Cardinals or Pirates can get back in it?
I still think the Cardinals have a hot streak in them. I know the Cubs feel that deep down. The Brewers, Madden was just talking about this today, that you kind of saw this last year. I think they went 8-11 against the Cubs with 2 extra inning losses, and they've obviously added on kind of throughout their roster. So, you know, I think the Cubs are in it for a race. You know, I was looking back on quotes in late May, middle of June about this is the silver lining. We're still in this division. I mean, the Brewers are not going away. The Cubs, I think, are going to have to take this and not just kind of survive and hang around. At some point, they want to be the team that we all thought they would be in spring training.
Yep. Tomorrow should be a lot of fun, and if it's not on your schedule, it's a makeup game from a rainout earlier this season, and we'll have it for you right here on CSN. Patrick Mooney, as always, thanks for the time. Let's send it down to the field now for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing and join lead singer of the Freddie Jones Band, Marty Lloyd, as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Get up to 50% off patio collections and more during the Great American Sale at American Sale. Choose from hundreds of patio sets on display and get free delivery, too. The perfect patio set for every budget, every space, every style. In stock and on sale every day. And right now, you'll pay no interest for 5 years. Turn your backyard into the perfect outdoor space. Hurry, this sales event ends July 16th. 9 Chicagoland locations or visit AmericanSale.com. American Sale. Bring the fun home.
The Castle's boldest hit yet is the new Hot Chicken Slider with boldly spicy Nashville-inspired hot sauce and topped with crispy fried pickles. It's the hottest little ditty this side of Music City. And where there's fire, there's smoke. Like the new bacon and smoked cheddar chicken slider. Wait, this just in. For 99 cents, get a Craver fave, crispy chicken or grilled chicken slider. What? White Castle. Now that's a bold move.
We asked premium vehicle owners to judge 3 premium sedans, not knowing the brands.
It is quite responsive and intuitive.
High quality craftsmanship.
The stitching adds a level of refinement. I like the aggressive sculptural lines.
Wow.
I've always trusted Mazda.
I like driving this car the best.
Discover a smarter premium at the Driver's Choice event.
Now get 0% financing and 1,000 APR cash plus no payments for 90 days for all new 2017 Mazda sedans.
This is more than a bundle. This is more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home court. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. It's why I'm here.
Here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. This is your Miller Lite game report, and the campaign is on from hashtag to t-shirts to get Chris Bryant to his 3rd All-Star game, and he's going to need Cubs fans, all their votes to help him get down to Miami. Here's how you can help, okay? Vote for Chris Bryant as the final National League All-Star. Go to Cubs.com and cast your 2017 Esurance MLB All-Star Game final vote. Send Chris Bryant to the All-Star Game in Miami. Vote now, and voting ends tomorrow at 3 p.m. Like I said, the campaign with the T-shirts, and Madden has a good idea for how his teammates can help.
Wear that shirt and do a dance for KB in the bullpen, something like that. He hits a home run. They all have his shirt on. They do the dance in the bullpen, and that's our hashtag right there. Yeah. So I'll put that out there. I'll make sure they have T-shirts out there.
You know, Joe loves his T-shirts, and here's a look at the 5 guys who are all part of this final vote in the National League. And really, it comes down to Chris Bryant, who right now is in 2nd place between the Dodgers' Justin Turner. So he needs Cubs fans' help. All you can do, Cubs.com, and cast those votes. All right, we got Game 2, the final, as the Cubs look to split the series here with the Rays coming your way from Wrigley Field. Lynn and JD will have the call coming up.
The Ford Summer Sales event is on.
Looks a little tight. Here, I'll park it.
Dad, relax.
Whoa. You kids have it way too easy these days.
Take on summer right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now with summer's hottest offer. Get 0% for 72 months plus an additional $1,000 on top of your trade-in. Now get a Fusion or a Focus with 0% for 72 months plus $1,000 trade assist, or get $4,000 cash back on Focus.
I'm only here for a blue dress. Blue dress, blue dress. Blue dress, blue dress, blue dress. Blue dress.
Sometimes it's hard to leave Goodwill with just one thing.
Ah, blue dress.
But it's okay. With your Club Goodwill Rewards card, you can earn points with every purchase for even more savings.
You always amaze me.
I've always believed that caring for families is the best way to keep our community healthy and safe. Which is why I do things like provide opportunities for children to learn through the Reading Buddies program, help fund child safety programs, and give to the homeless. It's also why I got into personal injury law. It gives me the opportunity to help people at a time of tremendous loss, Because helping injured people win justice is its own reward.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Nice day at the ballpark as the Cubs host the Rays. Double bobblehead day. Addison Russell and Javier Baez. As the Cubs look for a series split against the Rays out of the American League East. Let's get right into Kevin Cash's Rays lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Malix Smith gets the start, left-handed batter. He's in center. Corey Dickerson, the all-star, is in left. Evan Longoria at third. Logan Morrison, first baseman, will hit cleanup. Steven Souza Jr. moves down, bats fifth today against the right-hander Lackey. Beckham, the big home run in game one. Echeverria, the shortstop. Jesus Sucre will catch for lefty Blake Snell.
And how about we check in with the Cubs defensively, see who's where today. Ian Happ is in left field. Albert Almora Jr. patrols center. Ben Zobrist is in right. Brian at third. There's the bobblehead guys in the middle. You hate to connect the word bobble with middle infielders, but there they are, Russell and Baez. Anthony Rizzo is your first sacker. Wilson Contreras behind the plate. And Alexa's starting pitcher today is Big John Lackey. The 38-year-old is 5-9 with a 5.24 ERA. We talked about it earlier. The home run ball has plagued him all year long. He's allowed 24, has the highest home run rate in the league. Lexus experience amazing.
Fielded Culbreth, working home plate, 20-year veteran from South Carolina. Pitched and played the outfield at UNC Charlotte. He's also the crew chief. Carlson, Siegel, Buckner around the bases. Overcast but pleasant as we get started today.
Happy 5th of July, everybody.
That's right. Cubs 3.5 behind Milwaukee in the NL Central, 1 ahead of third place St. Louis. The Rays are tied for the second wild card spot in the American League with Kansas City and Minnesota.
3.5 game deficit for the Cubs matches their season high or low, depending on your point of view. Speed guy Malix Smith will keep him off the bases.
81 at game time. Southeast breeze at 7. So we've got a crosswind as we get started. Bryant in on the grass.
How can it be 1-1?
I think he called the first pitch low.
Yeah. Well, it's early. It takes a while to get locked in. Especially for a former college pitcher, you should have a big zone, right?
See what's going on here. Smith stepped out.
Lackey stepped off.
Lackey stepped out. Smith stepped out.
And John kind of quick pitching him a little bit here.
And a base hit to right to start the ball game.
It didn't look like Smith was really ready, but obviously he was ready enough.
Now Dickerson, the left fielder.
John loves to attack. He throws strike one as much as anybody in the game. Against this group, some of these hitters are hyper aggressive. I think that strike one plan may get John into trouble here today if he's really aggressive. And Dickerson, case in point, really likes to swing it.
And rolls it foul to the pull side. John has faced the Rays a lot. 25th career start. First time, though, since he was with Boston back in 2014. 13-8 with an ERA of 4.
So most of their guys don't have much of a book on him. Longoria being the exception. He has faced Lackey. Well, he's had 40 at-bats against him. Productive ones, too. 14 out of 40 with a couple of home runs. He's on deck.
Set at the belt. Here's the 0-2 line drive. Almora will get there out in left center. That's the first out. Smith back to first. And here is Longoria.
And Cash, 39 years of age, the youngest manager in Major League Baseball.
Smith runs. The pitch is wide. The throw is right on the mark. Safe.
Didn't handle it. Ball came out.
So Chris Siegel waited to see if Baez had a good handle on the ball, and apparently he did not.
Ball, glove, and Smith all coming together at the same time, and you see the ball rolling. That's the key. That's why Baez is so good, though. A lot of guys reach out and try to get that ball before it gets there, and then they have to bring the tag back. He's so good at kind of holding his ground, allowing the ball to travel.
1-0 on Longoria. So, yeah, Kevin Cash, roughly the same age as John Lackey. Pitch, base hit in the center, nearly hit the bag. Smith will score, and it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. So another first inning run allowed by the Cubs.
Well, it's fastball right out over the heart of the plate, and as I mentioned, Longoria, the one guy who's seen a lot of John. He's had success against him, and that success continues. Solid swing of the bat.
Here's Logan Morrison, who is on the American League Final All-Star list. Already a career high in homers with 24, and a Major League best 16 on the road. Morrison has long been a pretty active member of Twitter, and is not afraid to speak his mind, and not thrilled that he was not included on the home run derby list. And actually said Gary Sanchez should not be on that list.
Ooh.
Said he's a great player, but he thinks he should be representing the Rays.
Well, yeah, it's we like guys who make noise, who have things to say. Makes our job interesting.
He was quick to follow up. I think today, was not a knock on Gary Sanchez.
Yes, it was.
Well, he's just saying maybe he's better. There's a base hit. The fact that he cares about the home run derby.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of guys will downplay things like the home run derby or an all-star. Yeah, blah 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 blah. I don't care that much. They'll care, especially if they've never done it before. But I think the better play would have been to say, I think I deserve to be there and I deserve to participate, without mentioning anybody else who shouldn't.
He claims the system is flawed in picking the participants. And Mark Topkin tweeted, does playing for a small market team lead to getting slighted? Morrison responded, that's the most obvious answer to a question in the history of the world. So his point is that because he plays for Tampa Bay, that's why he didn't get the call.
The Yankee guy got picked. Yep. Yeah, well, he's probably got a point there. It's kind of like the primary system in presidential politics sometimes. Just what it is, what it is. John Lackey now having some issues with fielding Culbreth.
One ball, no strikes on Souza. A run in, 2 men on. Hard hit grounder to short. Could be 2. Is 2. 6-4-3, and that will end the race first. They get 1, and now Culbreth and Lackey.
So why do your low fares come with 2 free bags, unlike the other guys?
'Cause I know I can treat you better.
And why do your low fares stay so low?
'Cause I know I can treat you better.
Why am I wasting time with that other airline?
When you should be with me instead.
Yes. What? Southwest.
Hey, Chicago. Say yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Check this out. I found a way to keep my family from the King's Hawaiian.
Whoa.
Check this out. Whoa.
King's Hawaiian Foods. Remember when your first tackle box seemed like your very own treasure chest? Then keep the tradition going at Bass Pro Shops with great deals like select men's short sleeve shirts for under $10, plus free crafts and our new family game area.
We asked premium vehicle owners to judge 3 premium SUVs, not knowing the brands.
Nice and responsive.
The leather, the material, feels very well crafted.
This one is by far my favorite. I really like the bold lines.
Mazda. I did not expect that.
This is the one that I would want to drive every day.
Discover a smarter premium at the Driver's Choice event.
Now get 0% financing plus no payments for 90 days on all new 2017 Mazda CUVs.
Cubs Southwest starting in the lineup. Wilson Contreras will lead off for the second time in a couple of weeks. Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist 2-3-4. Ian Happ has been hot here as of late. Almora gets to start in center, batting 6th. Baez, Russell, and then the pitcher Lackey.
Rays defensively. Dickerson made a fine play in left field yesterday. Smith, great coverage with the speed in center. Souza, very athletic in right. Big arm. Longoria, Echeverria, solid on the left side. Beckham's had some issues. He's the second baseman today. Morrison plays first. Sucre is the catcher. And Alexis starting pitcher is a young left-hander by the name of Blake Snell. He's 24 years of age. He's 0-5 with a 5.36 ERA. Lexus experience amazing. He has command issues. You see 30 walks in 47 innings of work. He's given up the long ball too. 7 home runs in those 47. He's got great stuff. Fastball that'll touch 97. Big curve, slider, and change.
Yeah, he averages about 19 pitches per inning. That's really high as Contreras takes a strike, and the leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Wilson gets a hit here, and remember he homered in Washington, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Get it out of the way early. Snell backwards is Lenz.
With 2 L's like Wilson.
That's right. 1-1.
Here's a big lens.
That's a big C on that hat.
It's got a different font. Now, patience will be the buzzword for the Cub hitters today. Force him into the zone. He's got swing and miss stuff, so you don't want to expand on him.
Two and two. Well, Wilson acting like a tried and true leadoff man here, taking 4 pitches. And he'll go to work.
354 on base percentage against Southpaws for Contreras, so he's a good fit at the top of the order today.
Still a baby-faced 24-year-old. And that cracked bat ball will land in center. That's a base hit. Good start. Here comes Chris Bryant.
Yeah, that's good work there by Contreras. Saw some pitches. Got a tough pitch, put it in play. Got a little fortunate with a broken bat knock, but good way to start the day.
Cubs will overshift to the left against Chris. He's got about 100 feet of space between the first baseman and the second baseman.
Yeah,
he takes ball one.
It's interesting because we've seen him hit a few balls to the right of second base, not very much towards the hole, but just kind of where the second base umpire is standing. And with a double play in order, that creates a real funky play for a guy trying to make that turn.
Got Morrison holding on the runner at first.
I think he tried to steer that ball to the right side.
Well, you've got a little over 24 hours to vote for Chris Bryant. Final spot on the All-Star team. If you're on Twitter, pretty easy. Just hashtag vote KB. We've got T-shirts.
Looks just like him.
It does. He is currently trailing Justin Turner for the top spot.
Well, you would think Bourne Turner would split the Justin vote, and then the battle between the other three. Yeah, get out there, cast your vote for KB. He's the reigning MVP.
Three and one. Snell, a compensation round pick, 52nd overall, 2011, out of Shoreline, Washington. That's in the Seattle area. He had committed to the University of Washington before signing with the Rays. Pretty well hit. Smith, though, will get behind it. Contreras tags. He's going to try to get to second, and he will as the throw is off the mark.
Great read, great base running by Contreras, and I don't know what the scouting report is on Malik Smith's arm, but I'm guessing that that's what that was all about, that maybe they have had some conversations like there may be liberties to take on Smith out there in center field. You see Contreras reading catch, scrambling back to the bag, but normally with most guys you're not going to try to get to second base on that ball.
And I think he got there because he surprised Smith. You saw there was a slight lack of urgency, and then he realized he's going to go. What do we know about baseball, JD? You can't assume anything, right?
Absolutely. It's a funny game in that in many ways it's predictable, but in other ways it's completely unpredictable.
The thing is, Smith got behind the ball. He did everything right to start that play.
Well, somebody, and I'm guessing somebody should have been screaming at him that he's tagging up. Normally a ball in the air, they're going to let him know somebody's either going to be yelling halfway, 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 or he's tagging.
See,
yeah,
right
absolutely. He shouldn't have had to read that play. Somebody should have been letting him know, get the ball and get it back in, and then in his haste he misfires. Posted great numbers against left-handed pitching again this year, hitting just under 300 against them, 412 on base, 633 slugging percentage. It's not the kind of numbers you expect a left-handed hitter to put up against a left-handed pitcher. Normally, some guys hit for average against lefties, but the power numbers really suffer. That's not the case with Rizzo.
Another follow-up on the Chris Bryant vote. Go to Cubs.com/vote, and we've got a button, a Vote Now button. Pretty simple. 3-1 on Rizzo. So yeah, the scouting report on Snell has played true. A lot of deep counts here early.
Yeah, just You know, it looks like he doesn't have a lot of movement. He has great life on his fastball. He throws hard, but he's not sinking it. He's not getting a lot of run. So his stuff isn't intended to get the ball put in play early, and maybe that's an adjustment he's going to have to make as his career goes along. Find a way to have some quicker innings.
And he walked him to bring up the former Ray. As JD says, the X-Ray, Ben Zobrist, and Jim Hickey with an early trip to the mound.
And that's the thing for Snell, and I'm sure Hickey will remind him of this. There are certain lineups where his approach would be just fine, but against patient hitters, Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist in particular, you got to be a little bit more aggressive because they'll just take their walks. Or they'll put you in a situation where you're 3-1 and you got to throw a cookie.
Quick sartorial comment. I really like the Rays' current look. This is their normal road uniform. Kind of a classic look, and I like it.
It's gray, man. It's road gray. Yeah. I would be in favor of a few more guys showing a little sock. A little blue at the bottom to tie it all together.
Strike called on Ben.
Like that.
Got the old school stirrups.
His numbers from the right side are down. He had that wrist issue that no doubt impacted them. He's hitting a .163 as a right-handed batter.
Overall, it's been a tough go here before and just after his DL stint. 6 out of his last 59 for a 102 average.
Making solid contact, especially from the left side here lately, though. So I think there's an upward trend coming here for Zobrist.
He did knock in a couple yesterday.
Snell made his major league debut last year. He was 6-8 with a .354 ERA. In 2015, both USA Today and Baseball America named him the minor league player of the year. He's had a brilliant season, and everybody in Tampa very excited. The prospects for this young left-hander maybe diminished a little bit with the struggles he's had this year, but very talented, just raw.
And Zobrist is out on strikes.
Yeah, that was a dandy of a changeup. Find consistency with that. Will make that 97-mile-an-hour heater play that much better.
And he was there.
That's actually a backdoor slider.
He was their number 4 starter going into the year, and then sent back to a AAA in mid-May, and was great down there before coming back to the big leagues on June 28th. Ian Happ with 2 outs, 2 on, first inning. Snell's pitch is in the dirt.
So they got a number 0 in center field and a number 4 pitching.
Well, when you play for a team that started up in 1998, a lot of numbers are available. (3-0) on Happ. I'm guessing the number 3 will probably never be worn again by anyone other than Evan Longoria. Popped up on a 3-0 swing. Frustrating first for the Cubs. Snell threw a ton of pitches, but gets out of it. 1-0 Rays after 1.
Ever since we first opened our doors, we've been committed to developing relationships with the very best local farmers. Because we thought that would be a sensible way to offer our customers the best, freshest produce at the lowest possible prices. Now, 80 years later, this whole locally grown thing has gotten pretty fashionable. Whoever thought common sense would be so cool, hip, and trendy? Come see for yourself.
KFC's new Spicy Crispy Zinger Chicken Sandwich is now available in a $5 fill-up. Because who wants to spend $7 on a meal at a burger place when you can spend $5 on a meal at KFC? You need another reason? I didn't think so. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You don't have to sacrifice taste to stay in the game. Miller Lite, always brewed to have more taste and be less filling. Miller Lite, hold true.
The Honda Perfect Accord sales event is your chance to get an incredible deal on the Accord, which has been named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list a record-breaking 31 times. To celebrate, we have amazing offers on the Honda Accord, which has a 5-star overall vehicle score. The Honda Accord is also the best-selling car in its class. Race in to the Honda Perfect Accord sales event and get a great deal on the Accord today at your Honda dealer.
This is more than a bundle. This is more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home court. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. It's why I'm here.
Here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm.
You can't beat summer here in Chicago, especially at beautiful Wrigley Field. Tickets are available for games this month, including the White Sox series. That's always fun. Visit Cubs.com today to get the seats you want.
One nothing Rays.
Dodged a bullet. He did give up the 1 run in the first, but 3 hits, a lot of solid contact. Even that ground ball turned into a double play was well struck by Souza.
Beckham's home run gave the Rays the lead. They would hold until the end. In game 1, little tapper, Lackey will handle. They'll go 1-3. Here comes the shortstop, Echeverria. Echeverria has been hot, 391 in his short time with the Rays since he was acquired from Miami and then activated off the disabled list.
Breaking balls to Beckham, and now it looks like he's changing his approach to John here in the second inning. A little bit less aggressive, not attacking the strike zone. A couple runners in, then the slider for ball 3. And I think that's a smart plan against a number of these hitters.
High fly ball left center. Almora calling off Happ. He's got it. 2 away now. Jesus Sucre. Fired from the Mariners in February. catching today. First pitch strike. One other game going on right now. Blue Jays lead the Yanks 5-2 midway in the 5th in New York.
If Jesus were from Paris instead of Venezuela, his last name would be Sugar. Sucre in French is sugar.
Oh, there you go.
Jesus Sugar, but in Spanish it's not. So hang with them, I guess. Stay hydrated, folks. Warm day, but pleasant.
Blackie, nice second after a rough first. They go quickly 1, 2, 3, and that's his first strikeout.
Who provides the best entertainment and internet experience? Best in-home Wi-Fi experience? Lets you stream on 5 devices at once? Brings you Netflix on X1 and 75 megabits per second in the most popular packages? No question. Xfinity stacks up where AT&T doesn't. Get all these great reliable features and fast internet for an incredible price. Get up to 75 megabits per second download speed. Compare that to AT&T and get X1 and voice for $30 each for 1 year when you bundle all 3. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, every barrel's aged 4 long years for a fuller, smoother flavor. Our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Gear up for July 4th with star-spangled savings at Toyota's Red, White, and Blue sales event. From the adventurous RAV4 and the bold Camry to the fun-to-drive Corolla and family-friendly Highlander, you'll make your forefathers proud no matter which model you choose. But hurry, these deals are going fast. Lease a new 2017 Camry for $199 a month or get 0% APR for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash during Toyota's Red, White, and Blue sales event. Toyota, let's go places.
Grammy Award-winning Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees Green Day will make their performance debut at Wrigley Field Thursday, August 24th. The band stop at the friendly confines as part of their Revolution Radio Summer Tour. Tickets are available now at Cubs.com/Green Day.
Hey, big happy birthday wishes go out to Jewel Harris. Lives at the Friendship House in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Happy birthday, Jewel. That was a quality hat there, boy. I need to get one of those.
Cubs have a big charity event hosted by John Lester and his wife Farah after the game this evening. Proceeds will benefit the Never Quit Foundation, which will benefit pediatric cancer research. This is John's big charitable event. And as you would imagine, there will be lots of country music tonight at Joe's on Weed.
That would be Joe's Bar on Weed Street.
Yes. I assume that was assumed, but yes, that's probably better stated. Have you been to Joe's Bar?
Have not. I've been
it's a
by
great
Joe's Bar.
place.
Looks great from the outside.
Yeah. Mora swung at a bad one and strikes out.
Yeah, that's see, that's what Snell can do if he gets ahead of you. You get into that 2-strike anxiety, and he's throwing 97 miles an hour. Tough to lay off that elevated fastball. Rarely do we see Almora go way up there. That's one good thing about Albert this year. He's pretty much doubled his walk rate from last season.
A strike to Javier Baez. Pinch hit 0 for 1 yesterday. Big day on Sunday in Cincinnati. 3 out of 4 with 2 doubles and an RBI. That one out in the deep left center. Smith chasing, and it's off the wall. Baez slides in with another 2-base hit.
Baez, like many of these Cub hitters, a lot better against left-handed pitching than right. He's a .270 hitter with a .540 slugging percentage against the Southpaws. Dropped a little head on this one. It's not a horrible pitch by any means, but a good swing of the bat. Smith forced to play it off the wall. 1-out double for Baez.
Russell fouls away.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the Cubs 805 on base plus slugging against left-handed pitching is second best in the National League. It's hard to think of this team, you know, excelling in any way. I mean, they've been so mediocre all year, but only the Dodgers have a higher on base plus slugging against left-handed pitching.
That's a big turnaround for them, right?
Yeah.
Dodgers last year, that
you
was
were loading up your lefties against them.
Big problem.
And of course, there aren't as many left-handed pitchers, so you're dealing with a smaller sample size. But, you know, almost to the midpoint of the season. I imagine Rays fans, Rays staff, folks that have been around a while, they see Snell and they have visions of a young David Price.
Swing and a miss. Well, he would say, or he would hope you would say, a young Randy Johnson. I was reading about him. He grew up a Mariners fan up in Washington, and I said, who do you pattern yourself after? He said, Randy Johnson, and then he added Jamie Moyer because he liked his curveball, and I'm thinking, how do you blend those two guys together?
Yeah.
I guess if you did, you'd have the greatest pitcher ever.
Yeah.
Lackey with 2 outs.
Or you mix the formula of the unit and Jamie, and you shake it up and you get David Price, and that's maybe a more likely comparable.
That works.
Doesn't quite have the unit stuff. That's you know, he's not Randy Johnson. Randy with 6'10". This kid's 6'4". But the ability to get on top of that ball and drive it down in the zone creates very difficult angles for the hitters.
He's staying alive. That one rocketed foul. Hopefully everybody's all right.
20 years from now, this kid will be making his acceptance speech at Cooperstown and say, yes, some Yahoo announcer in Chicago said I wasn't Randy Johnson.
Another huge crowd today here at the ballpark. We had our largest attendance of the season yesterday, over 42,000. Brewers play later tonight, hosting the Orioles as they go for the sweep. Jason Aquino and Matt Garza, scheduled pitchers. Don't want to fall much further behind than the 3.5 back. And they currently sit in the NL Central. 2-2, and Lackey strikes out. All the outs were punch outs, 4 on the day. For Snell making his Wrigley Field debut, it's 1-0 Tampa Bay.
When our drivers recommend their cars, their words become part of our fabric. The 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander with standard third-row seating.
Come in now and get $3,000 cash back or 0% APR plus $500 cash back.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin with Cubs great Andre Dawson.
Hard work is the best way to succeed. That's why if you need a lawyer, you need to call my Hawk, Howard.
If you or someone you know needs help with an injury case, call me. 312-6-million. Injury law, made personal.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, inviting you to become a member of the Fields family when you buy or lease from any of our 31 locations. You also get our Fields amenities that include free loaners, car washes, and our gourmet coffee bars and cafes. And with more than 35,000 vehicles sold annually, you can get a great offer like this.
And now you can get 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Volvo XC60s at Fields Volvo Northfield on Frontage Road.
And Fields matters because you matter.
See Fields first at VolvoNorthfield.com.
Now's the time to buy at Gerald Subaru in Naperville and North Aurora. We have 2 brand new facilities and have just won the prestigious Subaru Stellar Care Award for sales and excellence in customer satisfaction. So this is the perfect time to get a great deal on a new Subaru. And every Gerald Subaru comes with the Gerald exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. Come in and experience the Gerald award-winning treatment at 2 beautiful new locations. On Aurora Avenue in Naperville or I-88 in Orchard Road in the North Aurora Auto Mall.
Advocate Healthcare is the official healthcare partner of your Chicago Cubs. We're for the comeback. We're for the win. We're for tomorrow. Tomorrow starts today at advocatehealth.com. Glad to have you with us this afternoon from beautiful Wrigley Field. Weedman Park, as it was known originally.
So those guys played here.
Yeah. Rays lead 1-0 as they'll bat here in the 3rd inning. Nine, 1-2. Big hit by the starting pitcher Chris Archer yesterday to knock in a run.
He's up there trying to bunt. The Cubs, as they often do, so aggressively defending the bunt. Kind of forced him into a situation where he had to swing the bat, and he pushed a ground ball up the middle. Proved to be a big moment in that ball game. Styling. That's got, I got the W vibe all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've talked about that before.
Hanging out, feeling good. Up on the top step so everybody can check me out. Quite a talent.
Snell 0 for 3 with 2 walks to start his career. Nudged foul to third. This is Baez ranging to his glove side. No problem. Back to the top end, Malik Smith, who led off the game with a single. Stole a base, scored the lone run.
Smith called up June 9th, hitting .321 since then.
He's 2 for 2. And the former Brave is aboard yet again. There's Dickerson. He's lined out to center in the first inning. It's gone a bit cold here as of late. 1 for his last 22. Only Avi Garcia has swung at a higher percentage of pitches in all of baseball, and interestingly enough, both are all-stars. So who needs patience?
You could always counter. Just think how good he would be if he was a little more disciplined.
Dickerson, a self-proclaimed bat freak, always seems to have a bat in his hands no matter where he is. Very meticulous about which bat he uses, and this is trouble. And it's going to bang off the wall and past Happ. Smith's going to be able to easily score. Dickerson on his way to third. Going to be a play there. He's out at third. He will get an RBI double out of it. And he thinks he might have snuck in. We'll see if the Rays decide to challenge. 2-0 Tampa Bay.
Throw there well in advance. It looked like Chris got the tag down in time. I see he pulled it back and then went for the base, but yeah, good work there. A little Rizzo-like with the playing the hokey pokey. Put the right foot in, pull the right foot out, then he put it back on the bag again. The question is, was the tag applied before he reacquired the base? Rays are trying to make that determination whether to challenge or not.
So that's the second out of the inning. We'll go 7-5 to get him. He's credited with an RBI double. And now it's Longoria. Fly ball. Happ. There's a beat on it. To end the Rays' third. 2 hits and a run. It's 2-0.
I see the world through brand new eyes, receiving light, reflecting bright from the faces and the things I see. Oh, now I see, but it's easy with you around.
Welcome to the new Hulu, personalized just for you. And now with the option to add live TV. It's not a dream, it's TV come true.
Get great deals going on now during Menards Priced Right sale. Menards has the blocks you need to create your ideal backyard living space. Save on 16-inch brick face, cobblestone, and lakestone patio blocks. Your choice, 2 for $5. Get unbeatable quality and satisfaction guaranteed with Cabot Exterior Wood Care. Cabot stains provide lasting beauty and protection for any exterior wood surface. Save $10 a gallon after rebate during Menards Priced Right sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Join in on the fun and cash in on the deals at the Chevy 4th of July sales event.
This is a fast car.
Enjoy the ride while making no monthly payments for the rest of the summer on these exciting Chevy vehicles.
Or for a limited time, get 0% financing for 72 months on these 2017 models. Or get 20% below MSRP on 2017 Impala Premier and Sonic LT. Find new roads at the Chevy 4th of July sales event.
Crispy chicken, grilled chicken, chicken. Did I say chicken? Because for just 99 cents, you can snag a White Castle Craver Fave, crispy or grilled chicken slider. Wait, did I say 99 cents? Yes, I did. White Castle. Now that's a bold move.
Welcome back, everybody. Cub fans, vote for Chris Bryant as the final National League All-Star. Go to Cubs.com and cast your 2017 Esurance MLB All-Star Game final vote. Send Chris Bryant to the All-Star Game in Miami. Vote now. Voting ends tomorrow at 3. And there again is a peek at the candidates.
And we have more specific instructions. The Vote KB hashtag, that will only be tabulated between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. The final 6 hours of balloting. As Contreras bounces to third and is thrown out. You can access the ballot through the MLB.com ballpark and MLB.com at bat app. I mentioned Cubs.com/vote. You can text N as in Nancy, N2 to 89269 to vote for Chris Bryant. There you have it. By the way, Wilson Contreras has been very good to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. He has led off a game with a hit, once a home run, twice. Both times he's done it. And Benny's making that $100 donation as a result again today. One and one on Bryant. Snell's been a lot better here after a little bit of an itchy first inning in which he got behind in the count a fair amount before getting out of that inning. Breezed through the second. Even though he gave up the one-out double, he struck out Russell and Lackey to end it.
Guys look like a broadcast team. Elevated heater.
I'll get into left center. And Bryant's got a hit. Joe got through everybody, went right to first base.
Sucre wanted that ball up out of the zone, and it's right over the heart of the plate, about mid-thigh. Pay for those mistakes. A lot more here than down at the minor league level, especially when you're facing middle of the order hitters.
Base machine, and look out National League. Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah,
you've seen what he's done lately.
Yeah.
National League Player of the Month for June. I think he got on base at over a 500 clip for the month.
Yeah, he's back. An extended period of really good work from McCutchen. Well, he finished strong last year, and then he got off to a little bit of a slow start this year. So, a little bit of a dilemma as to what was going on with McCutchen, but he's returned to top form. That's why the Pirates are worth keeping an eye on. I don't know what they're going to do at the trade deadline, but they'll get Marte back from the suspension shortly after the break. Had the Cubs performed this year in the first half like they did last year, I think they would have provided cover for a lot of general managers who are looking to rebuild their team.
Yeah.
Now it's a harder sell to your fan base if you start dumping guys and you're still in a potential chase for a division crown.
3-1 on Rizzo, who walked in the first. Cubs have lost 5 in a row against the American League East. 1-6 so far in interleague play.
It's a ferocious swing of the bat. Fouled off, so he'll take a provisional, and now he'll probably just use a hybrid and try to put it in play. Sucre, the catcher, the backup here, he's not a kid. He's 29. He's been around a little bit. Throws well.
Ball 4. 1-out rally. 2 on for Zobrist. Well, Zobrist made his major league debut with Tampa Bay in 2006. He was drafted by the Astros. Sixth rounder, 2004. 2 years later, he was dealt to the then Devil Rays in a deal that involved Aubrey Huff going to the Astros. The 0-1 is a strike.
He is trailing Longoria and Crawford for the all-time franchise RBI lead.
That would have been a triple play had there been nobody out, because Rizzo took off. So it's a double play to end the inning. 2-0 Rays.
No.
I'll be coming home. Wait for me.
There's no such thing as a free lunch, but at DQ, there is such a thing as a free Blizzard. Because if you order Blizzard and we don't flip it, your next one is free. Freestyle!
The famously flippable and tremendously thick DQ Blizzard.
Welcome to Dairy Queen.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Experience the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. Experience amazing.
If you call Chicago home, you know expressways have names. There's only one use for a folding chair in winter. Dibs. And there's only one way true Chicagoans pay. Wintrust. Bring it home, Chicago.
Dare to live in full color with Blue Man Group, the spectacular collision of comedy, theater, rock concert, and dance party, all rolled into one. Catch our boys in blue at the Briar Street Theater. Call 800-BLUE-MAN or visit blueman.com. Two 2-0 Rays. Morrison to lead it off.
Like he took a practice swing after the pitch was by him, just because.
Yank foul. Lomo, what they call him.
Yeah. Did he get a little dust up when he was with the Marlins? Because of something he tweeted, or
probably
some story there. Came up with them in 2010. He's a big guy. I don't remember him being this big. Listed at 6'3", 245.
Fouls off. Yeah, rather unfiltered on Twitter, at least a few years ago. One and two the count.
It's his second year with Tampa. 14 home runs last year. Played 107 ball games. Previous 2 seasons he was in Seattle, and before that the Marlins.
Lackey's 1-2 pitch is hit in the air to left field. Ian Happ drifting and catching. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching the Cubs on CSN via Direct TV Now. What's the song he's played? Is that John Philip Sousa?
Sousa March, yeah. Stars and Stripes Forever, or one of those.
Different spelling. Sousa with a Z.
Hear that music and then look skyward for fireworks.
Well, if the Rays finish over 500 this year and or make the playoffs, this would be the first non-Joe Madden managed team in Rays history to do so. Currently 44 and 41 in the first 85 games. Four trips to the playoffs, including a pennant in 2008.
Yeah, and he says, and you said it often, that could not have been a better place for him to kind of break in as a major league manager and get that exposure, kind of a cooler market, not a lot of focus on what was going on down there in Tampa. They were very innovative with a lot of their thinking.
Sousa strikes out, 2 away.
Well, that's the Sousa book right there. You can get him to chase the breaking ball off the plate or the elevated fastball. And again, Lackey making a very nice adjustment after that tough first inning. Spinning the ball a lot more since then. More sliders and curves.
The retired numbers for the Rays. Hall of Famer Wade Boggs, number 12. Number 66 for Don Zimmer, the late Don Zimmer. And 42 retired by all of MLB in honor of Jackie Robinson. And again, I think Evan Longoria's number 3 will be on that list down the road. Did Joe wear 70 there? If he did, that will be on the list, I think, at some point too. In fact, I would bet on it. Maybe a Ben Zobrist number 18.
Got to be careful now. You start retiring uniform numbers, you set a precedent, and next thing you know, you run out of numbers.
2-1.
Boggs finished his career there. He was at the end of the line, but he's a Tampa guy, right? I think he's from there. I think that was part of the. He stayed on the staff there for a while. He may still be employed by them in one capacity or another.
Ground ball to third. That's Bryant. Even innings have been better than the odd ones so far for Lackey. 2-0 for the visitors.
When did paying for airfare become so unfair? At Southwest, we do things differently. So differently, we invented a word for it: transparency. Transparency means we don't dream up ways we can trick you into paying more. It means respect. Because we don't just fly you, we like you.
Listen, Peter, you did good, but this does not mean you're an Avenger.
Mr. Stark is treating me like a kid.
But you are a kid.
Don't mess with me, because I will kill you and everybody you love.
I have to catch this guy, and nothing's gonna stop me.
Parker, my office. So, you got detention. How are you gonna make things right?
Spider-Man Homecoming, rated PG-13.
Get up to 50% off patio collections and more during the Great American Sale at American Sale. Choose from hundreds of patio sets on display and get free delivery, too. The perfect patio set for every budget, every space, every style. In stock and on sale every day. And right now, you'll pay no interest for 5 years. Turn your backyard into the perfect outdoor space. Hurry, this sales event ends July 16th. 9 Chicagoland locations or visit AmericanSale.com. American Sale. Bring the fun home.
Closed captioning of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by U.S. Waterproofing.
A little seepage in your basement is no need to panic. Count on the experts at U.S. Waterproofing to diagnose and repair the problem.
For a free consultation, visit uswaterproofing.com. A better basement starts with us.
Well, welcome back to Wrigley Field. Cubs trailing by a couple runs to the Rays. This is your Miller Lite Game Report, and I am extremely excited to introduce our next guest, World War II veteran Henry Campo, 91 years young, taking in his first game here at Wrigley Field. He's joined by his entire family. His wife Heather here is married to Cubs pitching coach Chris Bosio. His wife Karen's on the end here, and all his grandchildren. And Henry, this has been a pretty special weekend for you, right? What do you think of this Wrigley Field ballpark?
It's amazing. It's beautiful. Yesterday, my daughter and her husband, Chris, took me out on the field. I wanted to have him.
It was awesome. It's tough to put into words, right? The Ivy.
I wanted to go out to the 400 mark and have my picture taken, which I did. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry, Heather. How much emotion for the whole family.
Amazing. It's just such a blessing to have him here. We tried to get him here last year and didn't make it because of health issues, and just so blessed to have him here and be able to be in Chicago and be with us. And this is his first time seeing Wrigley Field, so we're super excited, and he gets to be here with his grandkids and my mom, and it's just amazing. It's such an amazing blessing, and we're just blessed to have him with us.
Absolutely. Now all these guys need to do is get you a big win today, right, Henry?
That's all we want is a big W.
W. Henry, thank you so much for joining us, guys. A very proud father-in-law, Chris Bosio, we just saw in the dugout. Thank you so much, Henry. It was a pleasure talking.
You're welcome, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, great to have Mr. Campo here, and got a huge ovation. He was shown on the video board a little earlier. 1 ball, no strikes on Albert Almora Jr.
Albert chased a bad one last time, a fastball about chin high. Chin high, wasn't he on Hawaii 5-0? There's Chin Ho.
Two and 0 on Almora.
Get greedy here, Albert. Selectively greedy.
3-0. Well, we had a 3-0 swing in the first inning by Happ. Popped out.
Yeah, you got to pick your spots, and you know, in that situation, there was a couple guys on base, so you're thinking, yeah, let's turn the kid loose. Maybe hits one into the seats. Now nobody on. Taking all the way, and that's probably the right way to go, especially with a guy like Snell because of his his background, the fact that he does struggle with command.
Oh, what a snag. Security dude. Barehand pick. He doesn't need a glove.
I mean, no stinking glove.
Payoff delivery and a base hit to center.
Good work. No doubt a little frustrated after the bad swing last time. We have to turn the page. We'll have a good at bat. He did. He's been really good against left-handed pitching this year, and he's been awfully good off the bench.
Double for Baez in the second. Cubs have had exactly 1 hit in each inning. Have not been able to turn any of those into runs so far.
And tough luck last inning with a line out double play. I think they were getting ready to do some damage.
So tomorrow ought to be fun, huh? The Brewers come back for a makeup, just a one and done.
Be good to check in with them. See who's getting the job done for them. I know the Santana kid was on a pretty good run. Broxton's hitting a lot of. They have a bunch of home runs. Shaw's having a big year.
It's been a nice addition. Eric Thames hit 2 more home runs yesterday. It'll be Mike Montgomery for the Cubs and changeup artist Zach Davies.
And the one loss record doesn't match the ERA, does it? 5.03, but he's 9-4.
So who's had the better year?
Montgomery.
That's the right answer. Charged. Beckham got him. And he bobble, and Baez reaches.